Joining us now, we are welcoming Representative Gene Newman. He represents District 61, Rankin County. Gene, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming in.
Great to see you. Glad to be here.
Well, I think some of those folks have been burning the midnight oil, as they say, down there at the Capitol. I know Tony Greer and his group, they've really been at it, trying to get a budget hammered out.
Right, and so Tony and his guys have been down there, and you had the appropriations on both sides, trying to come up with the final numbers and try to get everything put in bill form and get it ready to go.
Yeah. All right. So I think the big legislative event over the weekend was the conference coming out with tax reform plan that was agreed to by both houses, and I think it's still awaiting the governor's signature. Last I heard. At this point.
It is. I believe he will sign it.
Yeah.
I believe we're all happy to get to this point. I wanted more, obviously, but we're very happy to take this money off the table that we can't spend it and give it back to the people.
Yeah, and I think the way I've sort of been describing it, Gene, is it's a down payment on what hopefully will be ultimately a phasing out of the income tax. I know that's still where the Speaker wants to go. I believe he's committed to that. He's made that very clear. It's where the governor wants to go. And hopefully we can come together and get something done. It's not over, but this is a good start, I think, and a down payment. What's the kind of general attitude in your caucus in the House? They feel pretty good about it?
Yeah, everybody feels good about it. I mean, like our caucus really wanted to do away with income tax. We really wanted to just nail that down and make that happen.
Yeah.
We threw every kind of plan you could think of against the wall trying to find something that would stick.
Yeah.
And I think whenever the governor actually got engaged and said, well, we're going to do this one way or the other, we all decided we could agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we move forward from there, and we'll keep working on, again, what I think is a goal shared by a lot, especially on the House side for sure. And I know the Speaker wants to totally eliminate the income tax, and I support that too. All right. So the other big news, I guess, right now, and you heard the soundbite from Representative Shanks on our news, is this ballot initiative process. The background there, of course, is that Initiative 65 resulted, that was a medical marijuana citizen-initiated measure, resulted in a lawsuit, ended up going to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court struck it down, said we really don't have a valid ballot initiative, citizen-initiated, that is, process in the state of Mississippi. You can't do that anymore. So that was a high priority that I heard certainly from the Speaker. I think the first time I interviewed him during the session, he said that was a top priority. Representative Shanks on the Constitution Committee said the same thing. So where do we stand right now? What's the sticking point?
Well, Representative Shanks has worked with his counterpart in the Senate, and they I think Representative Shanks had the right number, which was the number that we used to have, that
signatures.
Yeah, signatures. The number of signatures that was required to get it on the ballot. The Senate side wants more than that, and they've negotiated and worked and negotiated. They just can't come together with the right numbers. They want a higher threshold than what we want, and I think Shanks is still trying to do everything he can to keep the bill alive and keep negotiating and still hoping to bring something out.
Yeah, so it's my understanding that it's in the status of something I don't know that I've ever heard before, Representative Newman, which is the suspended resolution calendar, so they can keep negotiating. So I guess it means it's not dead, but
right
on life support.
The main thing is it's not dead because we haven't adjourned. As long as we're there,
yeah,
we can keep working and maybe find a way to get something done.
Okay. Well, what's the general? I just ask for you to share this, if you would. What's the general view amongst legislators on both sides? Should there be a citizen-initiated ballot mechanism or not?
I think the majority of us believe that there should be. There should be a way for the people to address something that we, the legislature, are not willing to address. Mm-hmm. And we definitely don't want it in the Constitution. We've learned that lesson, but mm-hmm. I think there should be a way, and I don't think it should be easy. I don't think it should be like California where you can just run and go get something and stick it on the ballot, and we'd have that nightmare.
Yeah.
But we want it to be a legitimate way for them to do that.
Okay. Well, right now they're at an impasse, and like you said, until they Sine Die out, I guess there's hope. But my gut feel is that the citizens of Mississippi aren't going to be happy if the legislature leaves and they haven't fixed this problem.
I think you're exactly right. I think there is a good number of people out there who really want to see this happen.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can come up with something. All right. What about on some of the bills that you were personally involved in, maybe on the criminal justice reform area? What's going on there? What we get done?
Well, we haven't gotten done a lot of what I wanted to get done, but because I want to make it tighter and make it a little bit harder. The criminal justice system only works if justice is swift and sure. And right now, it's not swift and sure. We have an issue with people not going to court, people just ignoring court. Here in Jackson, they signed that consent decree where they can't do anything to make them go to court. They can't put them in jail on a misdemeanor. They can't do anything to collect a fine. And people wonder why crime's out of control in Jackson, and there you have it.
Yeah. I saw that Judge Dewey Arthur, if I'm not mistaken, sentenced a perpetrator who was selling fentanyl to a youngster that ultimately died 100 years.
Yeah.
You see that?
I saw that.
100 years, that's a lot. Do you think that would be, I know you've been involved in that world. Do you think that'll be a deterrent? That's what we're looking for.
That's the hope. That's the hope that you can take some particular cases and make examples and make people pay attention. But you have, that's hard because somebody that's wanting drugs and they're being enticed to sell drugs to be able to get more drugs. How do you hold that person to that level of accountability?
Yeah.
It's just not easy. It's just, but something's got to be done. So you hope that they'll pay attention to that sentence.
Yeah, it seems like where this occurs a lot, though, Representative Newman, they end up in court and they just get these slaps on the wrist, and it just keeps recycling.
Not in Rankin and Madison County.
No, I agree, but in Hinds County, it's been a problem.
It's been a problem for a long time, but it's. The last several DAs that we've had wouldn't prosecute a lot of cases. The police officers get frustrated and they quit arresting people, quite frankly. So, at what point does the city of Jackson, the Hinds County, wake up and realize that they have to do something?
Yeah, and we're already seeing that, of course, in a lot of the major Democrat-run cities in the country where it's absolutely ridiculous. And we've got a Supreme Court nominee that's, is being criticized for being light on pedophiles and those who possess child pornography. That all got brought out. I think she's going to ultimately get confirmed, but to some extent, it like normalizes crime.
It does, and that's been an objective for a long time, since back in the '60s. Is to take the stigma off being a criminal. That doesn't make any sense, but that's one of the things that they have pushed through these years, and you see it over and over and over. This pendulum swings; it'll swing to the left, way out there to the left, and it'll swing back to the right, not far enough, and then it goes to the left again.
When do you guys think you might Sine Die?
Maybe Friday or Saturday.
Okay. Any other major pieces of legislation kind of hanging out there that you're aware of that are
all the appropriations and ARPA and all that's in there, and then it's my understanding we're not going to do a bond bill this year, so we don't have to fight that. We're going to spend
not borrow any money.
We're going to spend the money that we have up there that's excess.
Good move.
On one-time deals and not extended deals.
Yeah. Because I got to tell you, I've talked about in the program, I'm worried about interest rates rising. We start going back to the well and borrowing money again. Our debt costs are going to go up.
That's right.
Which is, if I'm not mistaken, is the number 3 spending object behind education and Medicaid. Then it's debt service, and then I think corrections after that. So that could become an issue we have to deal with.
Yeah. Earlier you was talking about the inflation rate and all that. Well, one of the biggest problems with inflation is it starts driving interest rates up.
Right.
And then that drives a large portion of the federal budget. Yeah. And you start driving interest rates up, you start pushing that budget up higher and higher.
Yeah, it's just a big vicious circle there. But Representative Newman, appreciate you coming in today, sir, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Representative Gene Newman represents District 61. Rankin County's been our guest. We'll come back with more on Midday. Stay with us.